You seem a little giddy right now.
I'm so excited. There you go. Thank you.
You seem a little giddy right now. Oh, I got a great story for Glenn.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, it's how we met.
Okay.
Yeah. But I made a prediction.
I
when
feel
we
like
met.
you have an ownership over brown bags, even though when he was in brown bags, you were nowhere near brown bags because it was.
It was the first year.
You were not hosting it that year.
No, I wasn't hosting, but I was involved with it. That was my first year when he won. I was there. I'll explain.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe pay attention. You might learn something
Because
today.
you're not that old.
3, 2,
Or
1.
you.
I'm not. I'm 22.
It's a Hawaii thing. Whoa, it's a Hawaii.
Welcome to It's a Hawaii Thing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Lanai, and that's Brooke Lee. Yes, don't get us confused.
No.
This show brought to you by Hawaiian Federal Financial Credit Union.
You said federal, right?
Yeah, Hawaiian
Mazel.
Financial Federal Credit Union.
Federal?
We love
Yes.
those guys. Also, the Office of Elections. Make sure you go out and vote by mail.
Go out to your mailbox.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hawaii Cancer Care. You know, at Hawaii Cancer Care, your care is top priority. I also got to thank the good old guys at the Star Advertiser. You can now get them digitally.
And City Mail. Don't forget City Mail.
City Mail, of course. We got to thank City Mail. Everything you
Yellow
need,
bucket.
you can get from City Mail.
Love the yellow bucket.
Our guest today. I've never seen you so giddy.
I know. I'm like
Yeah.
13.
The last time you had a
Sup?
smile that big, you won the Miss Universe pageant.
Sup?
Today's guest is from the island of Kauai. He won a high school competition called Brown Bags to Stardom, and I
We've
was
heard of it.
there during rehearsals.
I wasn't
and
there.
and the time he won. It got him a national recording contract, and he did a song called "Nothing's Gonna Change My Love for You" by George Benson, and it went up on Billboard's Top 100. It was, I think, top 10. It might have been, and the song. Another song that he did was called "She Ain't Worth It." Remember that
Really?
with Bobby Brown?
Oh, Bobby Brown.
Yeah, that one
Bobby
was
Brown.
also charted on Billboard, very high as well. He worked with everybody from the Jets, Martin Nievera, Frank DeLima, Ray Parker Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Glenn Medeiros.
Hawaii's
How you doing,
Thank you for
Glenn?
having me here. Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, we can tell.
Two people.
I'm
Composure.
excited
Can I
to be here
just-
too, though. I'm a big
Can
fan
I
of
just
Harris
say,
and yours. Yes.
I've met a lot of people as
Yeah.
Miss Universe. Two people that I've been this silly about.
Yeah.
Robbie Rosa from Menudo
Oh my gosh.
and Glenn Medeiros.
Now
I'm
you're-
just saying.
You're dating
It's
yourself.
funny you say that because over the
Please
years,
tell me you guys are best
people
friends.
people have told me that they come up to me thinking that I'm
You're
him.
Robbie
Yeah,
Rosa?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
God, I have a
funny.
type. I have a type. And
Yeah.
I did not marry that type.
Yeah, I was just
My
gonna
husband
say
will
that.
look nothing like you guys.
I was just going to say that. Well, I want to talk about real quick how we met because I think it's a cool story that you always forget.
Well, you're
Glenn.
kind of forgettable.
You know what?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Thank you.
Just
Thank you.
saying.
Your high school year, you come to Honolulu because you win in Kauai at Kapa'a High School.
Kauai High School.
Kauai
yes,
High
yeah.
School.
The preliminary.
Yeah, the preliminary.
For brown
He
bags.
won the island, so he comes to Brown Bags to Stardom.
Right.
You're sitting in the front row for rehearsal. I'm sitting behind you with Chantel Don Sweeney.
This is at
Oh
the
my
Shell.
gosh.
This is at the this is at the Blaisdell.
Blaisdell.
that
Oh,
year.
okay.
Yeah, and you and your mother was sitting in the front, and everyone was going, doing dress rehearsals, and you were like letting to the end, and you told your mom, "Oh, this is gonna be tough. There's some good talent."
Who was in
this
it that year?
I don't even remember
There were a lot.
anybody.
Yeah.
But there was that contest was loaded.
Well, but it was at his height
Yes,
when you won. Like brown bags was like
everybody watched
Right.
it.
Because
on
it was like
television.
Naleo Pilimihana came
Yeah.
out of that. Like
Kapena,
you guys, yeah.
so
it
many
was
different groups.
Churned out a
Jake.
bunch of people.
Yeah. And anyway, we were talking, the four of us, and you said that, and Sean was like, "I think you got this." And I go, because we heard you rehearse, and I was like, "I think this guy's gonna win."
Really?
Yeah.
You predicted.
At the time, the reason I was there was a girl I was dating was dancing hula for Mililani,
oh, okay.
and I just started
Random?
working there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at the radio station. Anyway, that's how we met. You don't remember that?
Because you didn't really meet. You were sitting behind him while he was competing.
No,
in a
we
major
talked the whole
competition.
day. It was like a
Oh.
day thing for sound
No, what I
check.
remember is seeing you in the studio actually.
After you won.
Yeah, I remember that part. Yes.
Okay, well, at
Yes.
least you remember.
How
me.
old are you?
I'm 68.
Because he was in high school, so you were out of high school by this point and
Yeah,
working in your first
he
job.
graduated 1 year before me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just turned 17. Yeah, I graduated early because I was real smart.
Is that what it is?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Anyway, this is about Glenn.
Yes.
Look what I got.
Wow.
Do you have this?
Of course he has that.
Yes, I do
Because he
actually.
probably has like gold
How many copies
records.
do you have of this?
I think one.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
I need.
because I'd like to give this to you.
Oh.
because I
Why
think
aren't you giving it to me?
because you don't deserve this.
Wow.
She ain't worth it. That's why. But
Well, she's worth it.
Right into it.
but can you tell us about this moment here? You took this picture with Bobby Brown. Do you remember this moment?
Yeah, we were in LA. It was a recording studio that we were in at the time, and they asked for a quick
need to
photography
see.
session. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah. How was it working with Bobby Brown?
There's an actual
Bobby was very, very nice. He, very nice guy. Very, very talented in the recording studio.
What year was this?
1989.
89.
89.
Yeah.
So he had wasn't he in another group? Was not him.
He was a new addition.
Well, we were
were
both
solo.
on MCA Records.
Okay.
And he was in between records. He had just had his huge record that
Right.
came out, big hit, and the MCA was looking for him to kind of do something in between records. And I was just finishing up my record with them, and so they came up with the idea of putting us together.
How was that? The whole experience.
And it was good. I mean, I think Bobby has been pretty straightforward about the struggles that he's had.
Yeah.
And there were days when, I could see the struggle, and he was very different on those days. And then other days when he kind of was staying away from some of those things, he's just like the nicest, sweetest guy. So,
Because everyone knows him as the party guy.
Yeah.
Well, you
yeah.
went from Kauai to like Hollywood, like literally, like in a
That
matter
was
of
quick,
10
yeah.
minutes. So you went
You know
from
what that's like, though.
you went from Kauai to trial by fire. So
Yeah.
you're probably in LA going, what is happening with all these
Right.
people?
No, and I was a big fan of his. I mean, I was singing a lot of kind of Richard Marx type music.
Yeah.
And
Because you
and,
look like Richard.
Look at that hair.
Yeah.
and I wanted to continue doing that, but it was a record company that said, we really want you to go in this direction.
Yeah.
And the pros and cons to that, I think it hurt my career a little bit in Europe, where I was more successful in Europe than in the United States. But I did think it helped. It did go to #1 for a couple of weeks, and so it was a great experience.
I think it was longer than that, didn't it? I think it was like a month or so.
I just
a couple
remember the
months.
video, because weren't you guys like in the video?
Yeah,
It's like all
dancing.
white.
I try to forget that video.
And then there's like hot girls and like body.
We're going to talk
contests.
about the video in a minute. We're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Glenn Medeiros is hanging out with us. This show brought to you by Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union. Paulette and her crew.
That's our bank
Yes, they opened a brand new branch on Maui
in the Walmart.
in the Walmart. So make sure you go and open. Anyone can open it if you're.
Yeah, you don't need to be part of certain things.
Just go and open
Just
up an
like
account.
our podcast, and then you can be a member.
I've
See?
been with them for I don't know, maybe 20 years now.
Oh.
Yeah, also the Star Advertiser bringing you what matters. It's Hawaii's thing. Viewers can get a digital download.
Give them the
now.
code.
It's Ahi Thing.
It's a high thing.
There you go. Download
Not
it.
Ahi.
Use the code. I wanted to spell it out for you.
Okay.
Office of Elections. Don't forget, Hawaii votes by mail
Yes,
this year.
it's August.
Go
The
and-
big one's coming up.
When you get it in the mailbox,
Generals.
make some noise. Don't grumble.
Flip it over. Vote ALOHA on the back. Everything. Vote for everything.
Yes, it's a Hawaii thing brought to you by City Mill. You need something, they got it. Everything they have.
Mango pickers.
Buckets,
Go ahead, jump in.
flowers,
Glenn. What do you get at City Mill?
Nails.
What does Glenn Medeiros get at City Mill?
glue, fans.
Paint.
Furniture.
Yes.
Red
Furniture.
and blue. Red and blue paint.
Yes, you get all of it. Glenn Medeiros is hanging out with us, guys.
Okay,
We're-
so I have a question though.
Okay, go
before
ahead.
you, did you date Tiffany or not? Answer.
Oh no, I had a
Wait,
it was
Tiffany
more-
the singer. She's talking
Tiffany,
about Tiffany
yeah,
the singer.
not like Tiffany from
Yeah.
Kauai that I
Yeah.
want to
No.
like beat up, but
we
like
used to spend time together.
Tiffany,
Tiffany, but it was more Debbie actually. Debbie Gibson.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
wait,
That's why they don't like each other.
you're blowing my mind right now.
Yes.
You dated Debbie Gibson?
I remember
It
that.
wasn't really a I don't know if I would call it dating. I was on the Rick D's show.
Right.
Yes.
And then he kept calling me. He had an interview with her.
Right.
And he talked about me, and he thought it'd be a great idea for us to go and meet together and eat.
Right.
So we ended up spending some time together. It was a lot of fun.
It
but
was in the
mostly
tabloids.
friendly kind of thing.
It was in the
Debbie
tabloids.
Gibson
Yes.
blew my mind.
I remember talking about it on the radio because I was at the height of my career in radio when
Oh.
you went to Hollywood and did Shane Worthington and all that. So we got to promote the hell out of you.
Oh, thank
so
you.
we followed all of that. As
I thought you were at
went
the height
along.
when I was Miss Universe.
No.
Okay.
I was already on the downhill.
There's a lot of peaks
But-
and valleys in Lanai's career.
But you
evidently.
helped rebuild it a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks. Okay.
Do you keep in touch with Debbie or Tiffany?
Yes, actually, Debbie reached out to me about a year ago, actually, just to say hi, see how I was doing.
You should get her for a fundraiser at the school.
Yeah, I've thought about it, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I would go.
Let's do an old school show.
Why you gotta say old school? Why
You-
you gotta be
you
old
can
school?
you and me can
it can
MC.
just be school.
And we call it the Old School Show.
Why you gotta say old?
Featuring Brooke Lee and Tiffany, Debbie Gibson, and Glenn Medeiros.
I don't know why
Hey.
I had Tiffany. I guess I might have missed.
That was
No,
a
we
remark.
did spend a lot of time
Yeah.
together though.
Right.
But it was different. Tiffany was she was kind of
Rougher.
on her own all
Yeah.
the time on the road.
Yeah, 'cause she was alone now.
She was yeah, right.
Ah, look at you.
But
think you're
Debbie
alone
had her
now.
mom with her all the time. Her dad was a pilot, so they'd
Uh-huh.
fly all over, parents with her. But Tiffany was kind of on her own, and both great people though. But
Right.
very
Yeah.
different though.
But that was the time to be a pop star. Like
It
when
was.
you were at the height of when
Yeah.
it was like.
And I always say this, they're legit pop stars because there was no social media. So you
Oh, yeah.
had to do
Yeah.
your work to promote who you were.
Well, I was part of that group that used to go to the shopping centers.
you
yeah.
did all the mall
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Did the malls,
Yeah.
the gyms, the high school gyms
Yeah.
across the nation.
Wow.
Different things.
Did you like that the teenage girls were always, drooling on you? How was that?
Drooling.
No, I think
They were crazy for him.
Yeah, it's
like
like the
you are
Beatles.
right now, and you're
It's like the
you know,
Beatles.
yeah.
No, I never really.
Admirers. It's
The
called
only people I really
admiring.
got to know when I was on the road were people from the record label, or but for the most part, I'd see them on stage, but nothing
So
more.
did you
than
have to move to LA?
that. For a little bit, yes.
And
yes.
were you were older, right? You weren't in high school anymore.
So I moved to
20s?
LA. I was there from about maybe 18 through about 21, 22.
Yeah, so you didn't like have to have your mom with you or anything. Like you
No,
moved there on
no.
your own. You were on your own,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
hanging out
Yeah.
in LA.
Who else
in
did
the
you hang out
80s.
with in LA?
Oh gosh, a lot of different people. I mean, it was a great experience. Learned just a whole lot.
Yeah.
A lot of singers, actors, different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you came home. You worked on Baywatch,
Yes.
and that's where we reconnected because I didn't see you for a
Oh.
long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
You worked on the soundtrack for Baywatch on the second season, was it?
I was a music director for both seasons.
Okay.
In the first one, my job was to basically choose the music.
Right.
And then in the second season, I had asked the producers if we could actually use local artists instead.
Yes.
And
Aw.
write songs, original songs. to put on
See?
this.
It was awesome.
Worked out well. Yeah.
Yeah, because Fiji was at he did the intro.
Yes. Yes.
I ended up doing the intro for Baywatch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the
I did
theme
not know
song.
that.
And I
Right.
got to work with Kelly Reichel, who I've been a
Yes.
huge fan of, and so being able to work with him and so many other people. So,
Right.
Yeah.
It was the 90s.
Me and Augie
Yeah.
did Baywatch like 7 episodes, and we would go pick up our scripts, and Glenn would be in the studio with Carlos. Villalobos.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I know
yeah.
Carlos.
Brooke, so Brooke knows Carlos.
I met Carlos in LA. too.
Yeah.
And because we had Justin on the show too, and Justin talked about didn't he do a song?
Yeah, so
on the
Carlos and
soundtrack?
we the three of us wrote a song together called "Angel of Mine,"
That's right.
and he did a great song, a
Yeah.
great job on this song. Yeah.
Yeah, we should get some of these songs and replay them. I don't think they're being replayed anymore. Do you listen to any of these?
The sad part about it, there's a whole soundtrack, and it was never released, and there's so many
this
good
is
songs in
Baywatch?
there.
For
Yeah.
You should see if you could get it, because you could re-release them.
I would like to. I mean, it was never released, and the songs are really good.
Yeah.
I mean, Carlos is very talented, and
Carlos
all,
is,
all of the people on there. But so I have it's on the internet somewhere. So
Send them
sometimes
to me. I'll get
people-
them played.
That'd be great. I mean,
Yeah,
there's some
seriously.
really good songs, and the artists there, they're really good.
And I'll get it played on my Japan show too.
So that's how you guys
That's
all
right.
know Angie Leprette is from
Yeah,
that.
Sorta kinda,
from
yeah.
Baywatch.
I actually met Angie when after the hurricane on Kauai, and we did a song called Kauai Aloha.
Oh, that's
okay.
Rose
right.
song, and then so she was one of the video
Oh, because
producers.
Iniki was
Yes.
in the 90s.
Yes.
Yeah.
Early 90s.
Right,
Yeah, right.
Is there anybody that you always wanted to work with?
I wanted to work with Whitney and Michael Jackson,
Yeah.
and maybe George Michael, but unfortunately, I was in the same studio as Michael Jackson, and so he was in one studio, I was in the other, but I just couldn't get the courage to go.
Right.
I was
Over
just too
there?
scared.
Really?
Yeah.
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 Did you get to go say hi?
I didn't. I just
No?
I was
He
too
was just, like,
scared. I
next
was
to
like,
the
I can't
wall.
do it.
He's like
Can't do
touching
it.
the
Yeah.
wall.
Oh my
right?
God,
He's
you're
on the
lucky I
outside wall.
wasn't there.
No, Whitney, Whitney, I met a lot of people that worked with her because a lot of Whitney's songs was written by Michael Masser, and he wrote "Nothing's Gonna Change My Love for You" and
Yeah.
other songs that I've recorded. So
And it's weird because you work with Bobby Brown, and Bobby Brown was married to Whitney
Right,
Houston. So
yeah.
it's like a whole connection kind of
well,
thing.
yeah, I was kind of there in the beginning of it, believe it or not, because I was working with Bobby, and then
Were they dating already?
no, they weren't actually. I remember receiving a phone call actually, and somebody from the record company said, "Hey, we have an idea. We're gonna try and hook them up."
Oh, really?
And then next thing you know, they were together.
Yeah.
So it's I mean, they had their reasons for it. Part of it was marketing, but in the end, they ended up together. But
Now, do you play all instruments?
I mean, not all, but I play piano, guitar, saxophone.
That's all.
Different things. Yeah.
That's all.
No, I mean not.
Yeah,
not,
we
not
played
that well.
the
Enough to get
recorder,
by.
The recorder, the one in 6th grade.
Yeah, I played that.
Yeah. And when you do your music, do you actually sit down and do the music and write, or what do you like to do?
I write the music first, and then I fit the words to the melody. So
Okay.
Yeah.
And why did you choose as your first song "Nothing's Gonna Change My Love for You"? Was that the label? Was that Jay Stone?
It was George Benson. I'm a huge fan of George Benson. I've talked to him on the phone. I've never met him in person, but I love his stuff.
Now, was that the song you have to, like, is it like a pageant, like where you do it in Kauai and that's the song you have to take to Brown Bags, or you win with a song, you can change the song when you go to Brown Bags?
I think you have to stick with the same song.
There
So
you
you
won, yeah.
sang that song at the preliminaries in Kauai, won Kauai, then brought that song over
To Oahu.
Yeah.
And then got the record deal with that
It was
song.
you have to win your high school first.
Yes.
And then the island.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And then the
That is
state.
no
Yeah.
joke.
Oh, it was,
Yeah.
this contest, people you would think was just a small high school thing.
Right.
It was producing hits.
Right.
Oh no, yeah.
Producing hits,
When I saw Naleo out there, I remember them performing after they had won. They went to the Kauai Community College.
Yeah.
And I went out there to see them. I waited till the very end to get their autograph, and I was so excited. And I said, "Okay, I have to go to Brown Bags."
I got to tell you, about 2 months ago, I was driving. Well, it was 6 months ago. I was driving in a car down the Pacific Coast Highway, and Carrie Steele Station.
Yeah.
What is that station?
I don't know,
Cool
it's
Breeze,
somewhere-
like an
yeah.
older station.
Yeah.
And the song came on, and
Yeah.
there was like 6 of us in the car, and I told everybody, "Shut up!" And I turned it loud, and everyone's looking at me like, What's going on with this guy? Why is this? We're listening to this love song as we're
Right.
driving, and I started singing along, and then they started singing along, and they're like, "Who is this?" And I go, "It's Glenn Medeiros. You guys don't know Glenn because they're all from California."
Yeah.
But they knew the song.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. I mean, it's sold about 7 million records.
Yeah.
And
You still get residuals?
Yeah.
Check your bank account. So weird.
I'm always curious, like if you still get 20 years. How old
Yes.
is the song now?
But you're the most successful, I think, Brown Bags to Stardom winner. Like, people have been
Yeah.
successful, but you went national from
Yeah.
the...
You and Tia.
It's an interesting thing because I didn't really experience popularity in the United States. I mean, there was some. You had the
You were
two songs.
popular. Trust me, you
but,
were popular.
But it was mainly in Europe where I experienced, like, I couldn't really walk outside.
But you didn't
and
do
different-
concerts in the U.S. like you did in Europe, though.
No,
did
yeah,
you?
Europe did a lot of concerts, but
I think that's when
There were
he did the
different-
malls
the-
and he did
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
that.
But you know what I
stuff.
mean, like the European.
Europe was more like
concerts.
concerts in the United States would be like 2,000 or 3,000, but
I'm
in
not
Europe
going to
was
say that I
like
was
20.
stalking,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
will say that there are a lot of pictures of you with some Italian woman singer,
Yeah, so that
and
so,
she was like a big deal. in
You're
so
Italy.
she and I
stalking.
were actually dating. We were
Yeah.
dating.
Oh,
Yeah.
who was that?
That's what I'm
Elsa.
Oh, that's
Bikini.
I remember that. I do
Yeah.
remember that.
She's hot.
That was in the tabloids too. Yeah, you were in the. That's how you know. I think you make it. Today it's TMZ. Back in the day, it was the tabloids.
Yeah.
Right. You were in the tabloids.
I wasn't in the
You're in
tabloid.
Team Z now, I
I
think.
wasn't in the
Yeah.
tabloids. No.
She's getting
No.
talked about right now that we can't talk about.
No.
We were talking about the biggest stars that came out of Hawaii. I think Tia Carrera,
Out of Brown Bags.
Bags to Stardom. You. Who else was it? Somebody told me that Bette Midler was in Brown Bags to Stardom
Brown Bags wasn't
at
a
Radford.
thing. That wasn't a thing in the 50s.
It was like some contest.
I don't think that's a
No,
thing.
was it the 50s?
Yeah, well, not. She was, 60s. She's graduated a long time ago.
I don't know.
It
I
was a
thought
long
she
time
was
ago.
your age.
You were not of your generation.
Do you go back to Kauai at all?
Yeah, I try to go back at least a couple times a year.
How's
Yeah.
your mom?
Good.
See, look at me acting like I know her.
Thanks.
Tell her
yeah.
we said hi. Yeah. Now, do your kids know what you did?
Yeah, I mean they look stuff up sometimes,
Right.
and they make fun of me, and that's okay. Yeah.
But do they really know the impact? Like, do people still come up to you?
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, they do, not as much as before, but they do. And when they were younger, they had a they weren't quite used to it, but later on they're okay with it now. Yeah.
Do they like the songs?
I think so. I mean,
They're
they make
musical,
fun
though.
of
They're
a little
musical,
bit.
aren't
Yeah,
they?
man,
They're
yeah,
fully
yeah.
musical.
Isn't that funny
Yeah.
if it's
Not
your
stalking
kids?
them.
Isn't it funny if it's your kids? They make fun of you.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the weirdest thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
because your kids make fun of you.
They do, but their friends are. They're like, and you know, they like to come and hang around with the kids. They make fun of you.
Because you're just dad
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
No,
weird thing to me.
or an ATM machine, whatever.
That too.
Yeah.
My daughter's singing. She likes to sing, and my son plays the bass and guitar, and so they
Strong
love
genes.
music. But
How old are your kids now? Your daughter's in college?
she's 19. She's at Notre Dame, and my son is 20, and he's at the engineering school at UH. So
Wow.
It's funny because I've known his wife longer than I've known Glenn.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I mean, we don't always see each other,
Right.
but when we see each other, you know, we just know. And then you guys got together, and she. Oh, I remember she told me. She goes, "I'm with this guy. I think you know him. His name's Glenn." And I was like, "What? He's
Why
from
would I
Kauai."
know a guy named Glenn?
She never said Glenn Medeiros. She
Yeah.
said he's from Kauai. And then like the second time I saw her, you know Glenn? I was like, oh yeah,
That
Glenn Medeiros,
Glenn.
of course. Everybody knows
That
him.
Glenn.
Yeah, he used to date Tiffany and Debbie Gibson.
Just Debbie.
I'm just kidding, Tammy.
There was a fear in your eye.
They just hung out. They
There
just
was a
hung
fear
out.
in your eye.
So tell everybody what you're doing now.
Well, in about maybe 94, I started going to college, and I began teaching. And so I started in public school, moved to different schools throughout the years as a teacher, both in elementary, middle, and high school, and then moved into administration. And so now I currently kind of went from dean to vice principal to principal, and now to president at St. Louis School.
Congratulations.
St. Louis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. Do the kids ever ask you in the halls to sing to them?
Yeah, sometimes.
I would every day. Hey, can you sing it just the
Every year,
chorus?
at least one of the assemblies, they'll play the song and then
Really?
dance to it
Really?
and laugh. And every year.
Wow.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cool.
St.
Yeah.
Louis.
Do you like? I mean, obviously you like doing this, but what do you like about this job that you got?
I love this job. It's the best job I've ever had. I love the fact that being in St. Louis kind of reminds me of being at Kauai. The people are really down to earth,
Right.
they're really caring, and so I feel like I'm around family all of the time.
And you guys have churned out some pretty good product out of
Oh my
St.
gosh!
Louis. I mean,
especially lately,
like, I mean,
right?
you guys are hitting it out of the park, right?
Oh no, thank you. It's a lot of it is great parenting. You know,
Yeah.
it comes down to the parents. They work really hard, and the teachers too, and everyone at the school. But and Marcus Mariota, if you ever met his
Good
parents,
kids.
Yeah.
they're
Like,
great
Even
parents.
Tua's
and-
kids, right?
Salt of
and
the earth
Tua,
people.
yeah, Tua is amazing.
Yeah.
Just very his faith is very strong.
Right.
It helps to guide him.
Respectful.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah. I mean, it's so cool to see. I was telling a friend the other day, St. Louis needs to put a contract. Like once you go big, you have to make a big donation. Like the gym, the scoreboard, whatever it is.
No, we've been lucky. I mean, Tua just gave us $300,000
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
And
Dang.
Marcus has been giving us
His
a lot.
foundation has been doing a lot of
quite,
things.
quite a lot.
You know, we have the long version of this show. You can subscribe on YouTube right
Oh,
now to
are
watch
we-
the rest of this.
are
But
we
Glenn, we
giving
gotta
gifts
we
now?
gotta thank you for coming on the show.
Oh.
We got this gift from Enjoy for
Hey,
you.
Thank you.
Look at the basket.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, we
Wow.
gotta
Give
thank
me gifts.
Hawaiian Financial
Thank you.
Credit Union, also Office of Elections, Hawaii Cancer Care, and Mana Up. And Glenn, are you on social media at all?
Yes.
What's
I'm on
your-
Facebook.
Okay. Thanks for following me.
Yes.
So needy.
I'm so needy. Yeah. You don't do Instagram or Twitter?
He's too busy
Um,
raising the next Tuas of the world.
Yeah.
No, I do. Yeah, a little bit of Instagram
little bit?
too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, follow Glenn, and thank you guys. Hey, be nice to each other, you guys, all right? It's a Hawaii thing. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome back to It's a Hawaii Thing. Glenn Medeiros is hanging with us. Thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel. Subscribe, please do.
Subscribe.
A lot of people watch it, and they don't know that you can subscribe.
They know. They just don't.
I don't know what it is. I mean, because I've been watching
You have to
YouTube
guilt them.
since it came out, and I didn't know.
That you have
'cause
to
on the
subscribe?
TV, how do you, on your phone, you
all
can.
of my kids, all they do when they sign off
Yeah,
of everything,
you
they're
gotta
like,
ask
don't
my
forget to
kids.
like and subscribe, like and subscribe,
Yeah.
like and subscribe.
Do
So
you
it's
watch
like a thing.
YouTube, Glenn?
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of stuff do you like to watch?
I'm a history buff, so I like
Me
to watch
too.
it. Yeah.
History.
I watch a lot
I
of
don't watch
history
a lot
stuff.
of history.
Yeah.
It's when you get older, you.
Is that what it's
Yeah.
going to be? I have that to look forward to.
That's why I know so much stuff about history. People think that I studied history, but I just watch a lot of documentaries.
Yeah.
Like I'm like an old man.
But I like to watch a lot of the bands too, like the,
Oh, those are the
yeah.
best. You see the new one on Foster? On Netflix?
No.
Oh, you gotta watch it.
Yeah.
What's his name? The guy who does Celine Dion. He's
David Foster.
David Foster.
Oh my gosh, what a great documentary!
I have an interesting story about David because he called me to his house once.
Wait, sorry, you know David Foster?
Yeah.
What's happening to my world right now?
He wrote some songs for me and I recorded them. Yeah.
Wow.
And I went to his recording studio, and kind of an interesting story because he said, "Hey Glenn, I need you to come down here." So I went down there, met him, and he has the most expensive of all the pianos out there. Boysendorf is the best you can get, and so he had one of those, and it was connected into MIDI, so he could mix in Rhodes and all kinds of other sounds with it. So it was very nice. But anyway, he's telling me, he's from Canada, right? So he says, "There's a singer from Canada. I want you to sing with her. She's really great." And I said, "Okay." So he showed me this video, turned it on, and I don't know. I just said, "Oh, she's good. She's really good." But I think he was expecting me to kind of jump out of the stair and say, "This is the best singer I've ever heard." But she sounded really great. But anyway, he said, "I want you guys to work together. We'll do a song." And unfortunately, he didn't ever call me back.
Oh no!
And but it was Celine Dion.
But she was.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah. So I don't think I reacted.
She was super young back then.
She was
probably.
very
Like
young.
13,
She was like
14.
speaking French.
Yeah, she was
I
like.
think she's speaking
You know
English
what? Let's call him right now. Let's revisit that.
Wait, but he's the one that's married to that.
He married a young one now. He's like, she's like
He's
30.
an American Idol person.
Yes,
something like that. Yeah.
Catherine McPhee or
Yes.
something.
Yes. I did a movie with her.
With Catherine
Oh.
McPhee.
Yeah, she was
You
very
are
nice.
Lying through your
I
teeth.
did a movie. It didn't get released.
Lying
It was a
through
B
your teeth.
movie, and
Lying.
Malika Dudley played her double. And Brian
Catherine
Carolina.
McPhee?
Yes, she did a movie here in Hawaii, and she was super nice.
Wow, it
Yeah,
seems like a nice
all the guys
person.
were like, gaga over
Right.
her. Yeah, it was right
Yeah.
after American Idol.
Huh.
Yeah, it was super cool girl. You can't call him back and say, "Hey, I want to do a song with Celine Dion."
Too late
hit
now.
Me up on Instagram.
But I was really disappointed because they did a duet together. It was one of the first songs she released.
Was it My Heart Goes On?
No,
this
a
was
little bit
way
before that. Yeah, a little before that.
Because she was a child star in
Yeah.
Toronto.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
like weirdly young.
Yeah.
And then her husband.
Weirdly young.
Well, no, because her husband was her manager. Like the whole story
Oh.
was like, and then they fell in love later. But she
Yeah.
was like a preteen, like when he was managing her. It was like a whole thing. But she was young, like
Yeah.
really young.
What songs did he write for you?
Oh gosh, Lonely Won't Leave Me Alone. Yeah. Yeah.
Lonely Won't Leave Me Alone.
Yeah.
That was on your album.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And
I
then
remember.
a couple others.
So he's been around for a while, David.
Oh, he's
Foster.
been a long time.
I gotta go download the album again.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Is it on Napster?
I think so.
Wow. That's the thing.
The other day, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he said, "Oh, I want to show you this thing on Chappelle because it has this." Because I told him previously. I'm sorry, I told him the other day that one day I had met Prince in his studio in Minneapolis, right?
Wow.
Wait, we
And
need
so-
to pause. Just for the name. You met Prince.
Wow.
Okay.
No, but
Wait, did he shake your hand?
Processing.
Well, I got scared again because it was weird. Because
Glenn,
no, on
why
the
do you keep
Chappelle
getting
video,
scared?
they talk about
Back
him.
off my boy.
No, but they talk about him playing basketball, right? So I was in his studio. Donny Osmond was there, the Jets, and we were playing basketball, and then all of a sudden, I see somebody on the side looks like Prince, and he's like eating Doritos and watching the television.
Oh my gosh.
And his legs are up and his feet are up, and anyway, so he ended up. I didn't introduce myself, didn't really shake hands or anything, but I've never been that nervous in my entire
Me too.
life.
He
It
never.
was so scary.
He didn't shake hand the first time his bodyguard said, "Yeah, when the
Where
boss
did you meet
comes."
Prince?
From Jamie. He says when the boss comes, he doesn't shake hands, and he had his hands behind his back because somebody squeezed his hand and he couldn't play piano.
Well,
Because
I
he's so
see.
fragile. He's like 4
Yeah,
foot
small
2.
guy, yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
4'2".
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like he's like one
No,
of
but the
these
funny
things on
part,
our
I don't know
show.
if you've ever seen the Chappelle video that about him,
Uh-huh.
but he really is a good basketball player.
Is he?
And they have this entire skit about him.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, so Chappelle has 2 skits. He has one about Prince, and then who sings Super Freak now?
Rick James?
Rick James.
I'm
So
Rick James.
so
Alright.
so Rick James was the person that introduced me to Bobby Brown.
Sorry.
So, yeah. So
you hung out with Rick James
Yeah.
to meet. I can't.
It's crazy.
Your brain. Like,
Yeah, these I've never heard any
you're
of
not
these
even
stories.
low key dropping names. You're just like, I was playing basketball with the Jets, and
Glenn,
I'm like,
when we would promote you,
what?
because the station was a part of Brown Bags,
Yeah.
everything was about you. like because you were the only pop song that we had out of Hawaii.
Um,
So we would get all this information about you, and we would promote the hell out of you. I never heard any of this stuff.
Yeah,
Because he was living it at the time.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
wasn't,
you didn't
like,
tell anybody.
nostalgically,
You didn't-
like,
It's kind of funny because I just made 50 a couple weeks ago, and
Happy
I-
birthday.
thank you. And I thought to myself, maybe it's a good time to actually put it together in a
You
book.
have to.
Because
Write a book.
every once in a while it comes up. They'll say, "Oh, and did you ever meet this guy?" I said, "Oh yeah,
You
once."
have to.
Yeah, and
Totally.
I just turned 50, and I just
Last
finished
year.
my book.
you turned
Yeah,
50
I
last
just finished
year.
my book because I've interviewed so many people, and people
Yes.
always ask, and I totally forgot. But writing it was very therapeutic because it brought
Yes.
back so many memories
Yes.
of people I've interviewed.
Uh-huh.
You have to do that, if anything, for your kids.
There's so many people that you see the artists from the outside, but
Right.
when
Yeah.
you get to know them, you know
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
different.
There's a lot of
they're
really
different.
good
Yeah.
people out there,
Yeah.
and they create a certain facade in front of the camera, but different.
And you were in the heyday. Like, that was the halcyon days of pop.
Yes,
Like,
that's
it
where
was-
MTV was. MTV
It
and
was a
pop culture.
swirling. It was
pop
like
culture.
Studio 54 meets MTV
Yeah.
meets, like, it was like a whole different world. Pre social media, pre all of that
Yeah,
nonsense. People were just being like who they are, and you were just hanging out with them.
Where were you when you first saw the She Ain't Worth It video? Do you remember that?
I think I was in LA when I saw it.
Yeah. Do you remember where you were? What did you feel?
I just didn't. I hated seeing myself.
What? Did you really?
Yeah. I can't. I have a hard time seeing myself. Even
Really?
listening to. I hate my voice. I hate my
Weird.
speaking voice even. I just. I
weird.
still. I think George Benson's version of the song is a million times better.
No,
No,
It's
it is.
gotta be
It
a
is.
No, it's
Portuguese.
not.
It's like a Portuguese, like it's like a
So
Portuguese,
humble.
like God's got me
So
humble.
humble.
No,
like,
it's not about being humble. It's
Yeah.
it's a fact. I mean, the recording itself was done. So some of the best musicians on the when it was originally recorded by George
Uh-huh.
Benson. I mean, Robbie Buchanan on the keyboard.
I'm not taking anything away from that version, but when you grew up hearing your version,
Yeah.
Let's
it
just
becomes
say
part of your
there's-
soundtrack.
There's a whole generation of people in Hawaii who did not know George Benson sang that
Yeah, exactly.
song. They thought
Yeah.
Glenn Medeiros sang that song.
Right.
Like, let's be honest.
No,
Yeah,
that's
it's correct.
For
no, it's-
sure.
I didn't.
I personally liked a lot of. I like these. I like all kinds of love songs, but I prefer the ones that are really kind of sad and heart wrenching. That for
Yeah.
me, I've always preferred those.
It's Kauai, that's why.
You have a
But-
big heart.
Right.
You have a big heart.
But this song was different in that it was very positive love song, and I
Right.
think that's one of the reasons why it did well.
yeah, it was a positive, and it made you feel good, even though it was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
sad. Does
Okay.
that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it had a little beat to it, even though it was a ballad, and
Yeah.
What made you pick that song?
that I love the song. As soon as I heard that song on George Benson's record, I thought,
And then you're like, I'm gonna sing this at school.
yeah, I
This is
I
gonna
did.
be my intro.
How was his reaction to it? Because you talked to him.
He is the nicest guy. I mean, I'd like to meet him in person. I know he has a home on Maui,
Yeah.
but
He
but,
does?
Yeah, he lives
yeah.
above Lahaina.
What?
Did he give you? Did he like give you a blessing, or what? How was
No,
the
no, we
conversation?
never. We just spoke to each other. I think it was first time was a couple years ago.
Oh,
And
really?
he had a concert in Honolulu, and he just said, "I'm going to sing a song for you, but I'm so proud of the fact that a local boy Glenn took it and
Right.
put it out there." The thing about George is that he's such an incredibly talented guitar player that I think sometimes people see him as a jazz artist and not so much as a
yes,
pop
they
artist.
do.
So-
I did.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so it kind of hurts him. But some of the people that I spoke to in the recording studio said that they would put his voice up with Stevie Wonder or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, he has such a great voice.
It's very
too.
warm.
Yeah,
His
yeah.
voice. Yeah.
Yeah, he has a great voice.
Wow, amazing story.
I know. Could you even imagine?
No, and then Rick
Like,
James and
come on.
Prince too.
Come
Like,
on.
Jeez.
But
Oh,
that's,
yeah,
that's
Gosh.
so crazy.
You have pictures? Did you take pictures back
I
in the
have.
day?
You know what's so sad is a lot of the pictures I have are pictures that it was in a room during the hurricane. It got totally destroyed.
Oh, no.
So I can't get them. I remember.
This
I
is all
was-
film. There's
I
no
was-
digital then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was in Spain and I was about to go on and sing, and I was in the green room and Magic Johnson was there, and he came up to me and he said, "Oh my God, are you Glenn Medeiros?" So I was shocked, right?
See what I'm
He said,
saying?
"I love that song with Bobby Brown," and he started shaking my hand. "Can I take a picture with you?" I'm thinking, "What is he doing?" Right?
Wow.
And so, and then what was funny is that 2 minutes later, another artist steps in. He goes, "Oh my God, what's your name? I want to take a picture with you,"
Yeah.
because that was his thing. He wanted to make everybody feel good.
Oh, Magic Johnson, you're saying?
Yeah,
or-
Magic Johnson. So
Oh.
it wasn't that,
No, you're
my
just
thing,
doing
but
the
it was
humble
just
brag thing.
no. I'm serious, and I learned something there.
But he knew
because
the song.
He did know the song. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. he did, but he's just that kind of person. He wants.
He's
to
a
make people
really
feel
nice
good.
guy, though. Magic.
Yeah,
He is. He make
yeah.
everybody feel good in the
Yeah,
room.
yeah,
That's awesome. Do you think you'll ever? I know you want to re-release all that stuff, but do you think you could ever record a new song? Because
But
I'd
you-
like to be a part of this.
you don't- Wow, look at you.
I'll put it together for you.
You don't own it. MCA does. Do you own
Yeah.
your? Yeah, you.
No,
You
but
know-
what about the Baywatch album?
No, that one. See, that's interesting because once you write music for a television show, they typically
yes.
want to own the
I
publishing.
course.
agree
rights.
everything. There.
Of
I
course,
agree
of
everything.
course.
But in the music industry, it's the writers that actually make the money. So for me in
For
particular, if I had written a song on the B side of the record, then I would have made the money as a writer for that, and
Yes.
and I'd have a lot more money than I have now.
Yeah.
But
You're
fine. But it's really in writing. So that's what I try and tell the youth, that make sure to write your
Publishing.
music.
Yeah, write everything. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for coming.
Hey, thank you so. I'm such a big fan of Brooke. I'm
Oh,
telling you,
let's
I
go.
tell everybody that. In fact, my daughter has entered some contest.
Oh, that's right.
And I said, and I
Yeah.
told her, I said, you have to watch Brooke's videos.
Yeah.
She was the best. So
Yeah, so
still the
maybe-
best.
If she does, maybe you can go to give her some tips.
I think you were
Yeah. Glenn, it's nice to see you. Tell the family we said hi.
Thank you so
All right.
much.
Please come back.
Yeah.
Yes,
I feel like we only got the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you so
Yeah.
much. Thank
When
you.
you're
Glenn
promoting
Medeiros.
your book.
Yeah, that's right.
Write the book, Glenn.
Yes,
Write
yes.
the book. Glenn Medeiros, ladies
Thank
and gentlemen.
Thank you.
It's a Hawaii thing. Whoa. It's a Hawaii thing.